is the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Live.
You down with Rapaport? Yes, I am. 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 You better tune in, IamRapaport.com. Cause every single podcast, you know he drops bombs. I seen him on set, a seasoned vet with true talent. Catch him on his way to CrossFit, rocking the New Balance. He asked me to do the track cause he know I rhyme elite. But I'm just waiting for the Robert De Niro line of the week. Breakfast of Champions, hosted bagel, cream cheese and lox. This is I Am Rapaport, the show never stops. You might catch him out in public, stretching his knees. But if you don't listen to the show, yo, wiggle please. Wiggle please. This is the I Am Rapaport Podcast.
All right, this is a special episode of the I Am Rapaport Podcast brought to you by SONOS and the MOVEMBER Foundation, recorded to you in front of a live audience at SONOS Studio LA with me and Beastie Boy Mike D. The MOVEMBER Foundation is a global charity raising funds and awareness for men's health. Donate now at Movember.com to change the face of men's health. MOVEMBER. You can listen to this episode of the I Am Rapaport Podcast on Sonos. And if you don't have a Sonos system, check it out. I highly, highly recommend it. The shit is official. It's dope. It's efficient, and the sound is fantastic. All right, now we're getting ready to get into the I Am Rapaport Podcast episode with me and Mike D from the Beastie Boys in front of a live audience. I was very excited, a little bit nervous to do this. He's somebody I look up to, admire, and respected for since I was about 15 years old. So here we go. Check it out. It's me and Mike D of the Beastie Boys talking about all sorts of stuff. What's your favorite month? July? December? How about free TV month? This month, when you purchase any Samsung 9 Series SUHD TV 55 inches or above, you get a free 32-inch Samsung TV. That's right. If you purchase a 55-inch TV or above, you get another 32-inch Samsung TV for free. Hurry up, this offer ends December 5th. Visit a participating Samsung SUHD retailer. The Samsung 9 Series SUHD TV is the best way to get 4K and the best TV Samsung has to offer. It has Samsung's most superior level of color, contrast, and brightness, a brighter, more true-to-life picture with a wider range of colors. With its immersive curved screen TV, every seat is a great seat. This is one of those new curved screen TVs. I don't even have one of these yet. I got to get one of these. Plus, right now, when you purchase any Samsung 9 Series SUH TV 55 inches or above, you get a free 32-inch Samsung J4000 Series TV. This is crazy. You buy one TV, you get another TV for free. While supplies last, for free 32-inch model and any additional restrictions or limitations, see participating retailers or visit Samsung.com/free TV.
Hello. Hey, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm Michael from SONOS, manager of SONOS Studio here. So this is a pretty special experience, and we're really happy that all you guys could make it. This is a first for the studio. We are going to be doing a live recording of Michael's podcast, I Am Rapaport, with the MOVEMBER Foundation and special guest Mike D. How did this come about? SONOS employees have participated in MOVEMBER for many years now, growing mustaches, raising funds, organizing teams. So we felt the time was right to make our partnership official with a fun event that was really created around this idea of having a conversation around music and men's health in an effort to draw awareness and attention to the MOVEMBER Foundation and men's health issues. So, without further ado, I want to introduce Mark Hedstrom, Country Director of MOVEMBER, and he will introduce Michael and give you guys a bit of information on MOVEMBER. So, thank you.
Thank you. Hey everyone, how you doing tonight? A little bit of background on MOVEMBER. We're more than just a thing. We're actually a global men's health foundation that focuses on 4 key areas: prostate cancer, testicular cancer, men and boys' mental health, and physical inactivity. We were founded in Melbourne, Australia, back in 2003, and to date, we've raised over $650 million for men's health initiatives. And the one thing that I think we've learned over those years is getting men to talk about some of the harder issues that they often don't talk about. Is the way the mustache has really become a powerful tool for that. It seems on its surface a little bit ridiculous, but I can tell you and attest to the fact that growing a mustache for Movember will start a conversation with someone in your life, and hopefully it'll change either your life or theirs. So we're really excited to have this I Am Rapaport special edition to talk about men's health issues, particularly with Michael's unique approach to talking about sports, life, music, and film. So really excited to have him and Mike D here, childhood fan of the Beastie Boys. So really excited to have this opportunity to listen to these two guys talk. So give Michael a big round of applause, and I'll turn it over to him.
Thank you. How you guys doing? Thanks for coming. And this gentleman right here is named Mike D from the Beastie Boys. So everybody can relax. How's everybody over there? Everybody got their drinks and they're comfortable. And
Wait, I got to put my phone on airplane mode.
All right.
Here, hold. I mean, you don't really have to hold on while I do it.
No. You made a point of it, so we're gonna hold on.
I'd like it to be as theatrical as possible.
Let me make sure. Is everybody else's phone on airplane mode?
Oh yeah, there we go. I'm all up. Airplane.
All right. Well, first of all, I appreciate you coming out to talk to the people. The people are very excited.
The people
are very excited.
Who selected the people?
The people selected you.
Oh,
Mike D.
Okay.
So, I don't think we give a proper introduction to Mike D. So let's give a warm introduction to Mike D.
Thank you.
All right, and
wait. What about a warm introduction for Michael Rapaport?
I'm the host.
Please.
All right, that's proper.
But thank you for hosting us all.
Yes, and this is a live version of the I Am Rapaport podcast, which is a worldwide phenomenon. So some of you may or may not know about. And but to be honest, when I put it out that I was interviewing you, I suggested questions, and I got so many questions. But I'm gonna act like they're all mine because
Yeah.
I'm not my Diane Sawyer game. So, all right, so it's Movember. Yeah. So to jump right into Movember, it's health. And I was thinking how ironic it is to be interviewing a Beastie Boy who probably grew up on a strong diet of hot dogs and Brass Monkey about health. But we get older, and obviously, as we get older, I know I could say for myself, health becomes more of an issue, and you have kids, and you start to you get backaches and elbows hurt. And so my first question, and this is a true question, and I'm not trying to be funny because I'm a strong proponent of this, so I'm just going to throw this out there to ask you just a general health thing, especially a man over 38.
Which I am.
Yes.
Just, a little bit.
When was the last time, now this is a serious question, when was the last time you got your prostate checked?
That's a recent phenomenon for me.
Okay, so that's good, but you did get it checked.
Yeah, you gotta
get it checked. When you hit 40, because we do need to acknowledge the health stuff, you do need to get your prostate checked.
I mean, I don't really remember they give you something so you don't.
Oh, who did you go to? Because my guy didn't give me shit. He was talking to me like it was just another day at the beach. Like he was talking to me through it, and I was like, Dr. Fishman, just do what you need to do. Let's not act like something weird's not happening.
Okay.
Well, so you got a little sedative, a little
roofied.
All right, good. But you did get it checked because I'll tell you, since we're talking about health, I'll just share something open. I suffer from something called ulcerative colitis. I've had it the majority of my life. And, I'm just, all my friends, anybody who knows me, who comes across me, will tell you that I will ask you, once you hit 40, have you gotten a colonoscopy and or your prostate check? So I just a show of hands in here, men over 40, are we taking care of our health? All right, good, because it's real shit, because, no pun intended. All right, so we'll move on to that. But it's just there's something that when I thought about health and that's always the first thing I go to when I talk to men is this is going really fucking good. That's
you
the
meet a dude like at halftime at the game. It's like first no.
If I see somebody like, yo, we went to high school together, and like the conversation lasts more than 5
Well,
minutes, I
that's
will
not
probably
the first thing. You know the guy for 20 years.
No, but I might not have seen him. He could be like, yo, we went to high school. Oh yeah, I was in your science class. Oh, the general thing. We're at the game, and the Knicks suck. Sooner or later, I'll be like, did you get your prostate checked?
Okay, all right.
All right, so
And by the way, I got confused straight up because I was thinking colonoscopy.
right, okay,
All right, so that's where they had to.
put you out.
Yeah.
Because they go all up in the chest piece with the colonoscopy. It's real shit. Again, no pun intended. I'm sorry. Right. All right, so health. So how are you, Beastie Boy, Mike D, who I'm referencing because just the health. What is your health game? You look good, Mike?
Well, thank you.
You do. You look good. You look
Thank
strong.
you.
You look solid. You look tan.
I just had knee surgery. No lie.
What happened? How'd you hurt your knee?
I tore my meniscus and part of my ACL.
Doing what?
They had to improve that shit. Surfing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And white men
Can't surf?
are supposed to be able to surf, but white men from New York City.
Jewish
I don't
men
know.
from New York.
Yeah.
Sir, are you Jewish?
I am.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Let's for all the Jews.
And let me tell you, I've been surfing for a while now, and I love surfing. I do it with my kids. We all love it. And I have a lot of great friends who surf. But number one, there's not many black people to surf.
No.
And there's not many Jews to surf either.
Exactly. And there's
Straight up.
Yeah. And listen, and there's not that many Jews
Or
who
actually
surf.
just people of color. We need to change that shit.
That's
And I'm opening the gate to Jews too.
Yeah, why not?
I'm just saying.
There's not that many, and there's certainly not many New York Jews who surf, because I feel like New York Jews are a breed unto ourselves, right? We're like our own special
but we should,
thing.
I was right there in Brooklyn. It's 45 minutes to Rockaway.
Yes.
I could have been surfing.
That's true, but it's not
After
like a
school,
new phenomenon.
whatever.
People surfing in Brooklyn.
Yeah, no, that's definitely new
That's
school.
like new terrain, right?
That's like newer than Williamsburg. You know what I mean?
Like Woody Allen
That's
wasn't
like-
surfing out and when he was growing up in Brighton Beach.
Hell no.
All right, so what is your okay? So you've been rehabbing your knee. We're gonna
Yeah.
get. I know everybody's like,
No,
fuck
actually,
the health stuff,
the
Mike.
health shit-
We want to talk about Paul's boy.
Okay,
Poochie.
I'm talking
No.
physical therapy.
Okay, physical therapy.
Yeah, real talk. No, I guess this is great. I was on crutches this day last week.
Oh shit.
Yeah, real talk.
So have you started surfing yet? Again?
No, not yet. I'm just getting. I'm like the closest I've gotten. I'm on the stationary bicycle, dude.
Okay.
That's
okay.
like
I tore my meniscus.
we're getting there. Baby steps, Mike. Baby steps.
All right. And what about eating? Because you got this. Is another thing I'll ask. People within conversation. Are you vegetarian?
Eating's important.
Are you a vegetarian?
I was for a long time, but I'm not
When was the
anymore.
last time you had a fucking steak, Mike? That's the question.
Dude, that's I don't know, a really long time. Probably 20 years. I don't even
Are
know.
you serious? So you're not a vegetarian? So wait.
Serious.
So wait. Are you vegetarian?
I'm not currently a practicing vegetarian, Mike. All right, I did that shit for a lot of years, and I have mad love for people that are doing it.
Me
and
too.
Actually, it is more sustainable for the world.
Yes.
Okay,
But
so
my
there's a lot to
question,
be said
and
for
I
it.
have some vegetarian friends in here, and my question is,
I do too. I have my
you
vegetarian
got your people in here too.
Yeah. Okay.
My
You're not,
question.
listen, you're not the only one with vegetarian friends, Mike.
My question
A
for the
lot of New York Jews have vegetarian friends.
How's everybody feeling? All right, good. So the thing about the vegetarian is that I'll ask the questions to the
I like how you say it's like a whole different species.
Well, some of them are militant. Some.
that's true.
Not my friends. I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
met your vegetarian crew yet, but they were eyeballing me in the back. But I always say, like, if the cows and the chickens and we didn't eat them, then what the fuck would they be doing with themselves? That's always my general question. Is like, where would they be? It'd be like anarchy. They'd be like in the streets. So like, would there be like have their own like? There'd be a bike lane and a cow lane, and like, what would you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like. And is it healthy? I don't know if it's. I mean, I grew up eating, stovetop, TV dinners and shit. And look at me.
Dude, I loved Swanson's when I was a kid.
Exactly.
Like, loved.
I bet you they serve TV dinners now that are vegetarian.
Oh, yeah. No, in the health food store. Like,
they got
Whole
all that
Foods
shit, right?
Whole Foods probably is making mad money off of that.
Swanson's vegetarian meals. How did you become a vegetarian?
But they just had to change it. It can't be Hungry Man. Hungry Man dinner doesn't
you can't
work.
can't call it that.
Yeah.
So what made you want
First
to
of all,
become
half the world's women, so you can't be Hungry Man number one. Just saying.
That's true.
A woman's got to eat. Fact.
Gotta eat. What made you want to become a vegetarian?
It was a gradual process, but no. Look, all right. I grew up we've done the groundwork here. Jew in New York.
Fuck.
I ate a lot of crap, and I talked about it a lot on records.
Yes.
I don't really talk about eating any fine foods on records.
No.
Which is
that's the irony of this health conversation.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, even Kanye West got his lyric "eating vegetarian with the brown rice." I don't like.
KRS-One was talking that shit.
Oh yeah, no, like I love don't eat meat or hamburgers. I like that he separates like hamburgers are a different category.
Right, it was a separate thing
from meat. Like there's meat, and then there's hamburgers.
Absolutely. Who else said? That when I open the forum up, I want to hear some. I think Big Daddy Kane. No fish on my dish.
Oh yeah, fish, which is my favorite dish.
He said fish.
Rakim, that's Rakim.
Okay, no, but Kane said something. Pork on my fork. I don't fucking know. We'll get to the hip hop. Well, I'm chomping at the bit to talk hip hop with you, but right now we're talking.
Well, hell, all right. So vegetarian. No, honestly, I had stopped. It was a gradual thing. I think I had stopped eating steak, whatever, and we. No lie, we were on tour. We were in New Zealand, and I saw a chicken truck. Now, I know this is, kind of speaking a little bit to your point. Chicken truck, like a big truck, like a semi loaded up, but it was all like cages, like chickens, like live chickens in, I guess, coops, cages. I don't know what you...
Coops.
I don't know the technical terms,
Mike,
coops. In the
Trust
chicken
me,
world. Okay?
Chicken coop.
All right, so it was
like
loaded up with
coop.
chicken coops, and then I saw them on, and I just realized like they're all going to get killed so we can eat them.
Yeah.
And then I had like it was weird for me, bro.
No, I
was like, I'm out.
I get
out of the chicken game now.
So you gave up the chicken.
I gave up the chicken game.
And then?
I could say cold turkey, but anyway. No, so yeah, I stopped. Yeah, I stopped. Then I was vegetarian.
Is it true? I just heard this.
But for a long time, and then I had kids, and then I was like, I need some energy if I'm going to possibly keep up with these two kids.
Do they eat meat?
It's funny. I raised them vegetarian, and up until last year, now they're 13 and 11 now. So up until they were 10 and 12. They'd never eaten meat, and then they both. We were traveling, and we were like places where they had a lot of meat, and then they were like they just really wanted to try it. I was like, listen, you guys are old enough now. You know the stats. You know the information. It's like if that's what you want to do, and go for it.
And they had never had it in there, even on the sneak, like some baloney. Like fuck that. I'm gonna
on the sneak. I didn't listen to my knowledge.
That's cool. I respect that. It must be
there
hard,
might have been like a lunchroom trade that went on. I don't know.
Some backroom ham and cheese, tuna fish sandwiches. I always think about having kids and raising them vegetarian, because when I think about like my young kids and in California, which this will segue us into the New York, California of it all. You could stop at a store and get your stuff, but in New York, it's like bodegas and like delis and shit. And like if you're starving, and you really need something, and you're like uptown somewhere, like you can't go into a bodega and be like, I mean, what are you just gonna get, like a handful of lettuce? Like I don't know what if we need like that nourishment.
No, what do you mean?
Now they got bars and shit.
Everything.
They got everything. I'm just saying, 20 years ago,
they have like half the whole bodega is gluten free. You got like a lot of options.
It's changed. Options. It's good. They got options. But when I was younger, I was thinking like this will never work. Like I pondered being a vegetarian. I just don't feel like I have the makeup of a vegetarian.
Look at it this way: it'd be hard. You'd be hard pressed now, except for certain bodegas, to find fried pork rinds.
And that's a goddamn shame.
And there was a time.
That's a fucking shame.
That was guaranteed.
Right.
Always.
Yeah, but there's something wrong with that. Just in the state of New York City, in the state of New York, that you can't get pork rinds when you go into a proper bodega.
Yeah, I'm not endorsing the pork or the rind, but culturally I agree. No, culturally I agree. That shit's miss the flavor of the bodega.
Greats Sneakers. Greats is the first men's sneaker brand from Brooklyn. Born in Brooklyn. At Greats.com. They never sacrifice quality. Use premium materials. Style, quality, value is what they offer. Greats.com. Go to www.greats.com for 15% off. 15% off. Punch in the code Rapaport. RAPAPORT. Greats.com. All right, I'm going to open this up at the end of this for questions for Mike D, because I'm sure many of you guys have questions. And all right, I'm going to segue into New York, Los Angeles, and then we're going to get into music and all that sort of stuff. So what's the difference to you of living on a day-to-day basis in Los Angeles and New York? And what brought you out here to actually, like, do you have a California driver's license?
I do now.
Me too. Yeah. I'm ashamed to say that because, people
well, it's easier to get it here. That's why I broke down. It's like, in New York, nobody gives a fuck. Like, you can't do anything easily in New York.
Oh, you mean with getting a driver's license?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, you wait online with everybody. There's no making an appointment. Like,
right.
Here, it's easy. You go online, you make an appointment.
Right.
People, they actually are nice to you.
Right. No, it's true.
Like, so it's easier.
To get a driver's license here. It is true. It's just there's more space. Like, I know what you mean by that. But as far as...
just in New York, people are just New York. Everyone, like, when you go into a place like DMV in New York, everybody who works at DMV is just angry. They've been angry for about 30 years before you stepped into that door. That's how long they've been angry for already. So, and you're not going to change that.
Customer service, if you go to a store, general,
Starbucks. New York City customer service does not exist.
They don't give a fuck. Like, if you go into, like, generally, like, in the rest of the world, a Starbucks, they have a certain disposition. Like, hi, can I help you? New York, it's like you're in a fucking gas station. Like, it's like you're pulling up late at night to get a coffee, but it's like 9 a.m. and it's a beautiful spring day. It's just like, what do you want? Your latte? How many shots? They don't give a shit. So I know what you're saying.
No, the best you got if the barista actually kind of looks over after he gets the order and goes like, "I got you, fam." That's about the best you're gonna get.
That's good, Mike D. All right, so California, Los Angeles. Are you one of these people who thinks New York isn't the same? It sucks. It's changed so much. Who in here is from the East Coast? Who in here is from California? Actual that's a
lot. See, I'm surprised because I feel like, especially LA, there's so many transplanted New Yorkers.
I'm surprised by that. I'm surprised, or just transplant in general. But that's good. That's good. That's California love. That's California pride. How many people in here are from New York City? Okay. So for me, like I call, like, the biggest thing that I miss about living in New York on a day-to-day basis is, like, let's say this goes well, right? And we were in New York. It'd be like, yo, you want to...
Let's say this goes...
No, let's say this goes well. Like, let's say it gets better and better.
Not
like,
going well.
No, but I'm just saying, let's say you think it goes well. And, like, you're like, yo, Mike, let's maybe get a drink afterwards. Like, in California, we'd be like, okay, let's meet at this place on La Cienega and so-and-so, and we'll drive there. But if we were in New York, we'd be like, yo, let's go get a drink somewhere. This went good. Or let's go to the bodega and see if they have pork rinds. And let's go for a walk. See, in New York, like, if you run into somebody, you can say, yeah, I'm going that way. Let's go to that Starbucks with the shitty attitude down the street. And we go for a walk. In LA, literally, this happens every few weeks. You'll pull up to a stoplight. What's going on? Call me. And then you drive off. But I just miss the walking of it all.
I miss that. Well, and just the spontaneity of just being able to be like,
to find the day.
It's like you're wandering around aimlessly is great.
I agree. That's
And you
the biggest thing.
You can't do that. You can't have no direction here. You
No.
have to. Otherwise, you'd be like your car would be in the middle of a La Brea at a standstill, and
Yeah, you're
you
just
get pulled over, and someone would rear end you. It'd be very bad.
That's the thing I miss the most about living in New York City on a day-to-day basis. But do you think New York has changed? Like, are you like one of these people like, oh, the good old days? Like when you were running around the village, you know, doing punk rock and all these horrible things that you made songs about. Like, do you feel like that element is gone from New York City, or do you feel like it still exists and we're just older and you know have bad knees and shit?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, being an older person with a
trick
bad knee, but that's now been medically remedied.
No, not yet.
Well, I'm very confident in my surgical staff.
Yeah, no, you look
I
fucking
wanna give
lean
them
and mean,
props
Mike.
right
You
now.
look strong.
So, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
No, look, absolutely. New York has changed, and it's funny because I get torn a lot. Like, I feel like, am I really now to do this? Like, I remember when it cost 75 cents to get on the subway or whatever, and I don't want to be that guy. But New York has fundamentally changed because I think there's culture that could exist when we were kids in the city.
Yep.
Because people there's just an economic reality that people wherever you could be that weird person from wherever you were from, and you were waiting, the clock was ticking till you could leave that town and move to New York.
Right.
And you didn't have to have like a trust fund. You didn't have to have a job. You didn't have to have anything. All you had to have was that dream of that happening.
Right.
And then you made that dream into your reality. And you
Right.
go and then you meet a million other people that are doing exactly the same thing as that. And then those different dreams would actually manifest.
Yep.
And you didn't have to spend 8 hours a day working this job just so that you could have enough money to write this book or to write this song or to
Right.
take these photographs.
Right.
You could just do it, and you'd have to wait some tables or do whatever shitty job, but not. You didn't have to have a career. What your passion was could still be your career, and
Right.
that era is over in New York because it's not an economic reality. You can't.
That's a good point.
So, and that to me is a truly sad thing. I mean, you can say like, oh, people, but you could live in Bushwick. Like, yeah, you can live in Bushwick. That shit still is like more expensive than any other city.
Right.
And
It's
then you
crazy.
and I laugh about it because you're like, yeah, you're Bushwick. You're not that far from East New York. Do you understand?
Yeah, do you know? And if
you're
you keep going,
do you
you're in
understand
Brownsville.
what East New York is?
It's not gentrified yet, people. That's a good point. So like the if I could make it there, make it anywhere sort of dream. It's like you can make it there. But you might be living in Connecticut.
Yeah. So that part of the is different. But I do think at the same time people do. There still is always. You and I will be back there, and we'll be here, and you'll be there, and you'll be like, wow, there's so much shit happening here. There's still countless ways to get inspired and to be inspired. And,
Absolutely.
And there's New York has that, and it hasn't lost that. Hopefully ever, but it has not lost that. But But then what it has lost is that access for like creativity to go down.
Right.
So-
That's true. That's a good point and a good take on that. Has New York changed other than the grit and the grime and the Times
well, the grit and
Square?
grime.
Because
Yeah,
Times
there's
Square,
all
people
that.
talk about how Times Square changed. Like that wasn't a place that you would hang out and like it wasn't dope. Like that was like that was like going to like a fright night every
Yeah.
night. Like if you went there
For
like
real.
any time of the year, like it was like treacherous to go there.
Like I don't even know why I had to go get like. Well, the first times I had to get like a baseball glove, I had to go to Herman's on 42nd Street. You remember? Like,
I remember Herman's.
because you didn't.
There was a few Herman's around the city.
Amazon Prime shit.
No.
Like you had to go to the store and whatever. So there was one.
Herman's was
on
that
42nd
shit, though.
Street, and I would like feared for my life.
Right.
Like I was like, okay, I have my money hidden in my sock because I do not want to get fucking robbed while I'm going to get my baseball glove at Herman's.
Right.
And that shit was real. Like,
It was
and then,
real.
And then I had the glove, and I was like, okay, I got to take it out of the bag. So that people, like, as soon as anybody sees me walking down 42nd Street with a Herman's bag, I'm definitely going to get robbed.
Right. But you made it back.
I made it back. The glove survived.
Right. Yeah, but like so. Yeah, so the whole Times Square of it all. I mean, I think they overdid it, but I think that there's pockets of it, and I think the people and the energy of the city hasn't changed. And like you said, I think the economics are it's tough, man. It is tough. Like
But
your dream house in New York, like it could be like a little like a studio apartment that'll become like your dream house. Like I want to own a dream apartment in New York, and it's like it's a shithole. Essentially.
Yep.
And in most other places, you're living in a shithole.
And you're grateful to have it.
Yeah, and you're just grateful, like I made it into this shit box.
Yeah, you could be in like Atlanta, like a big mansion.
No, exactly.
You got
with
one
pillars and Real Housewives.
Chili from TLC used to live here.
Exactly.
No.
Went into foreclosure.
Yeah.
No, they didn't lose their money. All right, so I'm gonna switch up and talk. Beastie Boy, music, hip hop, and all that stuff because I know that's something that I'm excited about, and I'll just start with this. All right, and I want to phrase this in the most like respectful, humble way.
This is all right.
Wait, what?
This is some setup shit. You're about to come with some bad shit.
No,
right
Ashton
now.
Kutcher, come on out. No, it's not. No, no. I would say, I think everybody in this room and everybody who's a fan of the Beastie Boys. Who I don't think anyone could say I'm not a fan of the Beastie Boys. Like the Beastie Boys, what you guys did.
But you didn't have to be a fan because you grew up. You know what I mean? It's like, and actually, I try to explain this to people a lot. Where I say like, there's like plenty of people we grew up with. Like we might have not known you, but we had friends in common, right?
Yes.
But
some of them are in jail.
We were having the same, right? But we were having the same experience in terms of like being like these white dudes growing up in Brooklyn, and just it was a very exciting time, and there was a lot of music we were excited about or whatever, and so it like happened that we somehow got obsessed with it, but so did plenty of other kids. But we happened to whatever the parts were that came together, the drive, the meeting of people, the ideas, how things just. Multiple things have to happen in order for them to connect. And it happened. But my point is that could have been, it would almost be actually weird if you were a fan because you were like in a parallel place. Do you know what I mean? So it's different. We were all competitive with each other.
Right.
Too, in a way that just as like dudes who are in high school, you're like innately competitive.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm sure I could spend, some time with my shrink and find out why. Probably has to do with procreation, and there's only so many women, and we want to,
Exactly. I agree.
As teenage boys, we want to fertilize the situation.
Fertilize everything.
And
Okay.
So that has to do with men's health, right?
That is fertilization, healthy fertilization. But wait, let me just talk about this, what it means to me, and hopefully I can articulate what the Beastie Boys mean to some of the people in here. Like, I don't think you could ever find. I know you're probably like, well, when we first started, it's probably different because there's those stories about you guys getting thrown a beard and booed off stage, and when you first started, and is this a joke? Is this not a joke? But when the dust settled, and it was all said and done, and it's all done and said, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What you guys did, I was thinking today, like, how do I articulate? I think the honesty that the group had, the sense of humor, the taking yourself seriously but never taking yourself too seriously, the eclectic nature of it, the growth, never being boxed in, and I think just to say, like I truly am a fan and when I'm bringing this, everybody who's a fan of music and a fan of the Beasties, with the passing of Adam Yauch, the great MCA, like it felt like devastating because you knew intuitively without knowing that it was the end of something that was special. Like it wasn't going to be like a group where, other groups have had people pass, other groups have had people where they leave and they replace it. Like that niche between the three of you guys is synonymous. So it was like when he passed, like you knew like this was the end of something special. Like there was not like, Joe Schmo was going to come in and replace him. It just like, and then I think, so my question to get into it is like, And I have to say, you know, because of social media and Twitter and all that stuff, and we're exposed to it, how did you feel with the outpouring of love, the murals, the MCA Day? How did you feel when you realized his passing, what it meant to the world? Like, what did that mean to you as somebody who, this isn't a bandmate, this is like, I'm sure you, this is like a brother, like a friend, it's like something you can't articulate. You went through so much stuff, you grew up together, and then you did this fabulous thing and you shared it with the world. So when you saw the outpouring of love and support, what did that mean to you personally?
Yeah, you know, it was very, in a lot of ways, it was comforting in some ways, because I feel like, you know, it's like you love, you know, it's your best friend that you grow up with. And not only that, like, you know, he was such an amazing person and such an innovator. And I felt like he was my older brother in so many ways, right? So I was crushed, you know, because my being crushed is because I loved him so much. And he meant so much to me and taught me so much. But what was helpful or gratifying was then seeing like other people kind of that genuinely going through the same thing, but you know, it's obviously not the same, like it's their own relationship, but they have their own relationship to him. And
right.
That one person, I guess, you know, that thing is like, that's like a cool lesson for like us to like show our kids, right? That one person truly can make a difference, you know, whether it's just making art or just having fun and making stupid shit or entertaining people or really standing up for what they believe in, or all those things combined, that you really can make this impact and that people really have this genuine relationship with you.
Right.
You know, so, and for me, like walking around, it's like I'm in New York City at the time and walking around, and it's like, you know, on the one hand, it's kind of like, it was really difficult because it's like, you know, you're walking down and you're kind of like walking. I'm living in Brooklyn. I'm walking like not far from where Yauk grew up.
Right.
Like that's right where I was living. And then it's like you're walking down the street and people are like, oh, that's like the guy whose friend has just died, whatever. But on the other hand, it's knowing that those people had that it meant something to them, and
right.
that they had it was special for them, and that they had a relationship, and that it could have an impact like that. I don't know. You know, it was cool to see that support, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's nice. I was like trepidatious to talk. I didn't know, like, but I mean, I think
no,
it's...
I like you just go for the elephant in the room. Do it. No, I'm serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's a good interview thing. A lot of people would probably wouldn't, and you did it in a personal way.
All right. Oh,
So-
good. Because I just, you know, like I said, you know, like it was like, damn, like, you know, this shit's, you know, you just knew, like, without knowing, like, you know, and I don't think it wasn't ever said, it wasn't ever talked about, I didn't read anything. You just like, damn, this shit, this is no more. And then you really kind of look back and listen to the music and the influence and the uniqueness and you know, you guys are 1/3 of like, it was 1/3 each, and there was each personality was so specific, and you know, and in a way it's like you know, even people that are, for me, like growing up with you guys, you know, and like we're like around the same age. I think I'm 45, and you know, and like seeing that, it's like, you know, like, damn, like that part of my life, you know. And also, just in hip hop, it's like hip hop groups. The only, and maybe I'm wrong, the only hip hop group from our era, from the golden era, from the platinum era, from the greatest era, that still performs is De La Soul. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we have left. They're the only public.
wait.
No, but public.
Yeah, PE.
I'm sorry. What I meant. They never broke up.
Rakim.
Rakim is
performs.
Rakim now, and Eric B and Rakim, they don't rock anymore.
True.
They don't rock him anymore.
Right.
You know, and the only one that, so Public Enemy does perform, but the only one that never broke up was De La. Is De La. They're kind of like, I equate them to like, they're sort of like our Grateful Dead. Like, they keep going. It's true, and thank goodness. You know, and to just go in, like, so, like, just
No, I'm not. You know, that's actually a good analogy too, because I feel
the
like there's
only one who
something in
thinks of
there.
that shit
No,
every
but
day?
in their show too, their live show, like they're kind of all encompassing. You know how they do like their tribute, like,
Yeah.
hip hop part of their
Yep.
show their like the medley of other people.
Yep.
I don't know if they still do it, but they did for a while in there as a live routine. Like,
Yep. And Maceo comes from behind the DJ booth.
So you know what I mean? I think there's not many people that are like they might be the only lasting.
That's the only one
performers.
You know, and it was you guys, and so you know, so all right, so speak to me about that. Let me ask you about that. Hip hop today, you know, I read an article, like I've read two things in the last week of younger artists sort of shitting on like saying like the I don't call it the golden era, I just call it the whatever, like the old school. I don't even call it that. Just like the good best shit. That era is overrated, and that it's, you know, I mean, so for you as a fan and a participant, as a true participant, where do you think, like, you know, Nas made the song a few years ago, Hip Hop is Dead, and every now and then I feel like it resurrects itself, but I always think that the coffin is still like there, like because I never know when it's going to go down. So what is your opinion of hip hop specifically right now? Like, do you listen to anything? Are you excited by anything? Where's your head at with it? Are you demoralized?
No,
am I the only one that like thinks the fucking the De La Soul's, you know, like does that? Am I the only one who that bothers? Like I feel like sometimes like I'm a man.
What bothers you? Because I'm not bothered.
Me, it breaks my heart.
I mean, I might not love like out of like the whatever like. You know, you have kids, so I'm listening to like the same 10 records that play on the radio. Like, you know, I've listened to more Drake than I ever thought about. But I don't hate on. See, I like Drake because you know what? Drake made a fucking battle. When's the last time someone made a diss record and made a diss record that's like a top 10 pop record?
No, it's true.
So
it's true.
I actually have a lot of love for Drake coming out with a diss record.
Would you call it a diss record or like a water gun fight record?
That's a diss record. No, come on.
No,
hit him with the prenup. I mean,
he hit hard.
He didn't tread lightly.
No,
right?
he didn't, and it was a hit.
Yeah.
No, I fucks
Is this
with
the
Drake.
world tour or your girls tour? Mike, these are not soft. This is real talk.
That's hard hitting shit.
I'm just saying. Glad you know someone would come at me with a record like that. I don't know what.
Have you ever been in Beastie's ever been in a battle? Did you guys ever do a diss track?
Hello, third base. Well, no, we never did.
Oh.
We didn't really do it. There
was super subliminal.
There was some. It was no hit him with the prenup.
Is it your wife's tour? Yeah, right. No, right. All right. So in general, so where do you stand with it?
So I'm not. So there's moments that to me happen in hip hop like that, like that. You know what? I'm a genuine fan of.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's stuff like I'd love to see, like Kanye finally decide to release a new record, and I hope it's great because I feel like he's one of the only ones who's like he's thrown away whatever an album and a half of material already because he's one of the only people out there, actually not alone in hip hop. It could be, I think, just in music, period, who's willing to be like, you know what, I'm going to have a high enough standard that I don't care. I'm just going to throw this away. I don't care that I'm missing out on whatever the money is.
Right.
I'm just going to throw it away because doesn't feel right to me. And there's not that many people in music, period, that are committed to the art that are willing to do that.
But do you think that, like, well, speaking of like the sound of it, like, and then I want to ask you about sampling and how I feel like the crackdown on sampling, and you guys were a part of it, and of course Biz was a part of it, and then the rest of the artists caught on to the fact that I want to get paid off of this shit. Right. Like the sound, like for me, a big thing that's changed is where's the next Rick Rubin? Where's the next Q-Tip? Where's the next Large Professor? Where's the next Premier? Where, like, the sound, the production of it is first and foremost, because anybody can make beats. And that's great in a lot of ways. Just like anybody can make movies now. Like, you could, if you have a point of view and you have aspirations, you have an iPhone, you could literally, like, I think there was a film like a few years ago, like a short film that won the Academy Award, shot on iPhones, and I think that's great. But the musicality of hip hop it was born and bred on sampling. It was taking what we don't have and artistically crafting it into something, you know, that even better and more dynamic. So, like, for me, like, the biggest thing, aside from I just feel like anyone could be a rapper, and I think that that's great for anyone, but then there should be the anyone league and then the pro league. Like, it's like there should be some sort of, like, you can't just get into the pro league, you gotta, like, go to the NBA combine or some shit. Like, we gotta see how high you could jump before you just start becoming a professional rapper.
Summer pro league, and then...
Yo, it's cool. We could go to the park and play 3-on-3, but then when the big boys come, I'm going to sit on the side and watch. And I think that hip-hop has lost that sort of, like, you know, the big boys coming to watch. So my question is, so what do you think has changed? Do you think it has to do with that fucking kid who created Napster and that everything's free? No, it's true, because that guy crushed the music business. The Napster of it all, the free music of it all, and the instantaneousness of it all, I think changes. So in general, what do you miss about hip-hop? What are you excited about hip-hop these days?
All right, so
that took 7 minutes to get that question
was like,
out.
First off, that was like 15.
Can I get that water?
That was like 15 questions.
I know.
Number
just
one.
Speak on it, Mike. I'm fucking sweating over here.
Have some water. Just relax. Take a knee. Whatever you got to do. Just
go ahead, Mike.
Enjoy
Break
yourself.
It down. I'm trying to get you to talk. You're that guy.
No. So, all right. So first off, I think, like, in terms of the sampling basis of hip hop, I actually think I see it slightly different, because I think that hip hop was based on taking whatever it was that, like, worked. Because before there was sampling, you had a DJ.
Right.
And so you had you had a guy in a park with 2 turntables. And so it was like, it didn't matter where the music came from. It could be Aerosmith. It could be War. It could be, you know, Donny Hathaway. It could be Jazz Crusaders. It didn't matter. Like, hip hop didn't have, like, to me, that's one of the most amazing things, I think, with hip hop. It didn't have, like, literally didn't see race, because it was equal opportunity. It would just prey upon, a DJ has to prey upon everything that would move. Like, Bambaataa was one of the best DJs I ever saw play live, because he would mix in crazy shit that should never have worked.
Like what? Like, talk about it.
Like, literally, I remember being at the Roxy's like a kid. Like, I was a fucking kid, and he would play, like, Tony Basil, Oh Mickey, You're So Fine. It was like this like glossy pop record, and he somehow would make it work, and he mix it into, like, a Soul Sonic Force record, and then mix that into, like, Incredible Bongo Band, and mix that, you know, he made it all work. But it's because of this, it wasn't like a self-conscious thing, like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, fuck with people's heads and go here and there. It was just, he just thought, he genuinely, in all of his cells, he believed those records were equally dope.
Right.
You know,
right. And funky.
It's as simple as that. They was equally funky to him, and he used them all equally, and that's how hip hop is. You'll use that, and so the basis at one time, we went from DJs to then tech. You know, I always feel like you could go through our records and you could go through the history of hip hop, and it's always informed somewhat by the technology that's available, right? So you go from, like, having turntables to then all of a sudden you can sample, like, a little bit, and then you can set. That's where I think the explosion that happened in sampling was all of a sudden we realized, and then, like, PE with the Bomb Squad, with Hank Shockley, with De La, when they made 3 Feet High and Risings, all of a sudden, like, you could buy, like, an affordable, like, a S900 sampler or Emax. Like, there was technology where you could actually sample a bar of music. And that was huge. So all of a sudden, that technology enabled all this creativity to jump off from that. And people, like, in those cases, in Nation of Millions, 3 Feet High and Rising, Criminal Minded, you know, these what now are incredible classic. I mean, I don't even call them classic hip hop albums. I think they're just classic albums.
Classic American music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna look back at, like, Americans probably won't do it, but people, like, in white people of France are gonna look back and be like, oh, the hip hop. This is the only American. The only thing is not shit that America has given us.
Right.
But that was a bad French.
No, it was
you
good.
could probably do it better.
You want to hear my French accent? You don't want to hear it. Good. No, keep going. This is what the people want to hear. Keep talking that shit, Mike.
Anyway,
this is what people want to hear.
See, now the French people, I got a lot of love for the French people. I got a lot of French friends, and they're going to be mad at me now.
No, they're not. You did a great accent. It was fantastic. It was good.
Anyway.
Let me ask you.
So technology enables it, and then you're right. Like now, you can make movies, and you make a whole record on your phone and whatever, and so that's where things are. And then I do think there's the part of it was funny. Like I remember being really. I read one time like when we were like making like Check Your Head or something. Like this is still when you needed to edit a video. You still needed to have like decks and these whatever those knobs.
Avid,
no, before Avid.
What is it called, Jason?
Have,
with the film,
the friggin'
tape to tape.
Yeah,
that's not what I was looking for. But
that doesn't sound very convincing. No, it was technical. That's not the technical term.
When you were editing videos on film,
you had like video decks there, and you had like these.
That term.
Anyway, all this like equipment, and actually, I'd give you Yauk was like the techno whiz, and we used to. That was one of our nicknames for him was techno whiz because he could hook any shit up. He was just like that kid. Like literally, when he was a kid growing up in Brooklyn Heights, he literally knew how to build bombs. Like I'm probably not supposed to say that's probably a security risk.
Yeah,
but no, he's just like a kid. Like he'd read something and then like he could build it.
Right.
And then I remember like when we were making our own videos, and he like had a whole whatever tape to tape, whatever the technical term
setup.
Is. He had a whole setup that he knew how to work, or whenever we were recording stuff, we didn't know how to. He'd be like, "Oh no, you just unplug and you get the adapter of this." But anyway, my point is, now when you're talking about there being the big boy league and the, and Division I and Division III or whatever you want to call it, it's like that's. I remember when we were making Check Your Head, there was some quote from like Francis Ford Coppola where he was like, that was like video cameras were the big thing, and he's like, the world's going to change because he's like, now some kid's going to come out and it's going to be a revolution because he's going to create an incredible movie, and he doesn't need to get financing or anything. He's just going to do it on his thing. But then, and so I kind of thought like, wow, this is going to be amazing. Like this is going to be really profound. But actually what happened was, I think now you have it where everybody can make a record, everybody can make a movie, and I don't know why, but somehow instead of it being this the revolutionary thing, it's more like you got just a lot of stuff that isn't as great coming out, and you still have great shit.
Right,
but
I agree.
It's diluted in a sense because you've got a lot of other stuff competing for your ears with it.
Right, and the
or eyes or whatever.
And you could just put it right out there, which is good. And like, so if you have a disc
it's good
record,
and bad. I think it's right. It's
you could just put it out.
Put it out.
And then if it's not good, you could just put another one out the next day, which really kind of takes away from it.
Well, wait. You put out a disc record that's not good, you're just
that's
dissing. Then you're dissing yourself. Then you've just crushed yourself.
I feel like Meek Mill went wrong. Just to go back to Meek Mill, is that Drake hit him? Drake hit him with the back-to-back, right? Isn't that what he said? Back-to-back, right?
Back-to-back.
He said back-to-back. Now Meek Mill, like say your first pitch, you swing, you miss. Okay, next day come with the back-to-back. Like, and then everybody will forget about the pitch you missed. That's where I think he fucked up, and he should have called Mike Rapp, because Mike Rapp would have been like, get your shit together today, get your coffee, and come back the next day. And no one cares that your first one was whack. He should. That's what I would have said.
No, 100%.
And then you can, then if you tie it up.
He needed to come, but I think I don't know.
I think too many people got involved.
Everybody just felt like, okay, Meek Mill's done now.
No,
like
he should have came back. He could have came back the next day with that shit. And he didn't. And that's why I think he went wrong.
Yeah, but now he's
podcast.
Done. Now he got hit with the prenup.
He got hit with the prenup. He got hit hard. All right, so the instantaneousness. Let me ask you a question.
Now Meek Mill's going to hate on me.
Meek Mill, we got beef with Meek Mill, Drake, everybody's coming for
giving love to Drake.
We're giving love to Drake. And I'm saying for next time for Meek Mill, just swing again. Fuck it. You missed the first pitch. No one's looking. Just swing again. You could just put it out 15 seconds on Instagram. You could just freestyle, blah, 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 and then you're good. But he didn't do that. Let me ask you a question. So speaking about the instantaneousness and the Instagram of it all, when was the first time you heard yourself on the radio? And what was that moment and that mountaintop moment like for you? Do you remember the first time you heard yourself on the radio, and what was it? And just break it down to me.
Well, I do, and it's not that. It's more like a molehill. It wasn't really a mountaintop. But no, it was when we were a hardcore band before we were a hip hop group or a rap group.
Yes.
We were like punk rock kids from New York City.
Yes.
And then we made a hardcore 7-inch called a Pollywog Stew EP. And then before it even came out, there was like on NYU there was a show like an hour a week or whatever that played hard. Like this one dude, Tim Summers, who went to NYU and he played hardcore, and he'd yell like a fucking crazy person, like, yeah, that was the whatever. Anyway, and he played before shit came out. He played a song. I think it was called Egg Raid on Mojo. He played a song on his show, and I would listen to the show every week the same way that I then went on to listen to mixed like. That I listened to like Zulu Beat Show every week, or
Mr. Magic,
or Red Alert, whatever. How you listen to those shows every week.
Yes.
But before I would listen to the rap shows every week, I was listening to the hardcore show. And so he played our song, and I was like, "What?" Like I almost lost it in my bedroom, like listening. Like I was like, "What?" But it's funny because it's probably all of like 12 people, literally,
right, that heard it,
literally that listened to that.
But did you know it was coming? Did you hear, did you know that the radio station had the record?
No, I didn't. I mean, he got it. It turned out from.
So that really is a molehill moment. Like you just
Yeah.
it was like kind of just like.
But it was both. It was a mountain and a molehill combined, because it was a molehill because probably all of 12 people didn't change our world. It didn't change our relationship as a band to anybody. It didn't change who we were. But for me, it was a big time deal.
Absolutely.
Big time shit. Like that. To have that happen.
And then what about Beastie music? When was the first time you heard Beastie music on the radio?
No, that was Beastie Boys. When we were a hardcore band. But
okay.
then when we.
But this was with another. It was four people. Or was this three of you?
There were four of us because it was Yauk, MCA, myself. It was before Ad Rock was in the band.
Okay.
So Yauk was MCA, myself, the drummer, this girl Kate Schellenbach, and from Luscious Jackson. Thank you. And John Barry played guitar.
Okay.
So that was the group then, and then eventually John left and Adam joined, and then it just became the three of us.
Okay.
Whatever. But yeah, and I don't remember. I'm trying to remember, like with hip hop, like hearing. I just remember with like Hold It Now, that being like. I couldn't believe that like I would actually hear like a car driving by. Like I don't remember like a specific like radio show or anything hearing it, but I remember that was a bug out for me, like walking around like hot New York City when you're just walking around and like everybody has their windows open and they're blasting music, and hearing Hold It Now as one of those records.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if it was like really on blast the way like Public Enemy, Bring the Noise, or Run DMC, Sucker MCs, but you know what I mean? There's certain summer records that you hear, but Hold It Now a little bit had like a kind of moment like that, and so that was pretty wild.
That's a good that's a mountaintop.
That was, and then to be like that kid I'm just walking around New York City aimlessly, like
how old are you at the time?
I don't know, right, 18 or 19. Shit. So you're and you're just like meeting up with your friends to sit on a stoop and like, what do we do? Okay, we're gonna get a beer at the bodega, and you sit on the
pork
stoop.
rinds.
You sit on the stoop and have your beer, and then you're like, okay, what do we do now?
Right. And they're playing your shit.
But then they're playing your shit, right?
Yeah, that's a goosebump moment. All right, I'm gonna rattle off.
I guess like actually it's weird in film. You don't really. It's different, huh? You don't really get that.
Well. I guess in film you get it when the first time I saw myself like on television, I was like, oh shit. And then the first time I saw a movie that I was in with a group of people was like, oh shit. It was the same type of thing. It was like, somebody had saw a film that I was in before I had seen it and came up to me, and now it was like, I saw you in this movie, and like you're like, you think like, you're going to be rich the next day. Like, like I'm famous, but it didn't work out that way. And here I am doing the I Am Rapaport podcast. This hasn't happened. But the point is that it felt good in 19...
Listen, you're just baby steps away from Oprah, Mike.
I know.
Just remember.
Shit.
Baby steps.
The I Am Rapaport podcast is sponsored by Mack Weldon. Mack Weldon is a New York City-based company that lives and breathes New York. They make the best underwear, the best t-shirts, the best socks at Mack Weldon. They use great, soft, comfortable, breathable material. It's light. The fabric is great. You could shop online or on your mobile phone and check out in less than a minute. Mack Weldon wants you to be comfortable and look good. It's perfect for the guy going for a run or the guy on the run. Use the promo code Rapaport, RAPAPORT, for 20% off. You get 20% off your Mack Weldon underwear, socks, and t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts. Check it out, Mack Weldon, MACKWELDON. Let me rattle off questions, and then I'm gonna let people ask questions. And all right. What Beastie song did you hate to perform that you had to perform at every Beastie Boys show? Was there one song that you were like, oh fuck, or that you, as a group, you guys are all right? You thought about not performing, and you were like, all right, but we got to do it. What was the one sort of, okay, we got to do it?
I just remember specifically. I'm kind of doing the thing where you answer the question by not answering the question. But
yeah.
So Brass Monkey, which is still like very. I remember we like had stopped playing the song for a while because we were just like, this shit is just stupid. It's about a drink we don't drink. We're like, who are we? We're like grown people. We don't drink. We drank that when we were like 18.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? We can't be touring around the world talking about drinking Brass Monkeys,
right.
Grown ass dudes. Like, it's bad luck. But then we were in Miami. I was talking with a friend about this recently because he was there. And we were in Miami. We were like, okay, Miami, like basically, like this Brass Monkey is definitely the biggest record in history in Miami. We just sort of decided this in our minds,
right?
Like there was no data to support this, but
right.
We had decided that, and so we're like, we're gonna play the song tonight. Fuck it, because this shit's it's gonna kill.
They want it. They need it.
They need
that Brass Monkey.
This is the Miami anthem.
Right.
They live for this shit.
Right.
And then we played it, and they were kind of like, "Oh, that's cool." Like they didn't really care. And not only that, it was a struggle. We barely remembered. I think we forgot more words than we remembered because we hadn't done it so long. But then actually it did still made a comeback though.
Later on.
We got more competent with it. We learned, we were like, all right, we're going to learn this shit and we're going to make it work. It was like, when you're a performer, like, and something doesn't quite work, like you probably, if any rational person would turn their back on it and be like, all right, that didn't work. I'm going to do something else. But I feel like as a performer, there's something where you're just like, no, you keep going back to it.
You locked and loaded, and we're like, we're going to fucking revive this song one way or another.
This shit's going to work.
All right.
This shit's definitely, it's going to, next city, when we get to Baltimore, this shit's going to blow the fuck up.
And you kept going.
We did, and then it came around. I'm telling you that eventually it worked.
All right.
I figured Mixmaster Mike dialed that shit in, mixed in some Planet Rock or something on
So
in
I was
there,
going to ask you that.
And eventually it killed.
You guys would perform and rock under other beats, which I don't understand why more people don't do. So like when you're performing slow and low, you would take whatever track and rock under it. Was that because you get bored of the songs to make it fresh for the fans, make it exciting? You know what I'm talking about? Is there a term for that?
It was definitely, we wanted,
you'd almost sort of remix the
we wanted to
songs.
make it fresh, right? And that's why we loved having Mike as our DJ, and actually made a switch up to have Mike be our DJ because he was incredible and incredibly talented, and he'd make it more exciting for us, which I think then in turn hopefully made it more exciting for the audience to watch. You know what I mean? Because we'd be excited. It's not like we're just standing there like, okay, we're hearing the instrumental for the 1 millionth time of Paul Revere. He's like making something happen. So it's keeping whatever. We have to literally be on our toes and on our. You wouldn't
know what beat was coming?
No, we had to be on. He would keep us on game.
Oh, that's cool.
You know what I mean by doing that, which I think, yeah.
All right, here's a question.
I was grateful for.
In your prime, MCA, Mike D, Ad Rock are going to battle each other. Who wins the battle out of the three of you? Like, who is the best just lyricist, freestyle? Like, if you guys were going to battle each other in your primes.
I agree. I think MCA probably, I don't know who said that, but I'm going to agree because he had, like, Ad Rock and I could write certainly as well as him, but he had, he was like a better MC, I'm going to say.
Okay.
He was a better, like, he would, like, when he, like, I remember out of the three of us, like, in the very beginning when we would just memorize every record, he was a guy who could really, he could nail it every time. Like, he could memorize that record and really, like, nail it. Adam and I would memorize a record and be able to pull it off, but he would kind of next level it.
Okay. The end of the world comes, and you're able to leave one Beastie Boy record behind for the next civilization. Which one? You can only leave one, and you want which record collectively would you like? Or you can answer yourself.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
No, you just saying. Listen, the end of the world. They say you get to leave one fucking Beastie Boy record for the next group of people.
Yeah, but I don't care.
It's your choice. I'm interviewing you.
I know, but I want to leave like somebody else's. I want somebody else's record.
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that next. But I'm just saying. So the question is here like this: what would you say instead of the end of the world got sad, things got dark? I'm sorry. We're gonna bring it back up. What would you say is the quintessential Beastie Boy record, or what would you say is the people's choice favorite Beastie Boy record? I know it's like picking a favorite
son. Now you're
son.
wanting me to answer for the people. No, see, I'm not answering for the people.
Okay, fine, fair enough.
The people can answer for themselves.
Fair enough.
You invited them here.
Fair enough. I'll get to the people. People are going to come in a second. You are going to be deserted on a desert island for the rest of your life, and you get to bring 5 records of your choice. What records are they? Any genre. You get. These are the 5 albums you get to listen to for the rest of your life, and these 5 only. Go.
Damn, that's just tough, dude. Only 5.
Just
all
5.
Right,
listen, you're lucky you got 5. Most people I do 3, but it's because I like it. I said 5.
All right, I'll go off the top of my head. I'm going to say Sly and the Family Stone, the Fresh album.
Okay. That's 1.
Okay, I'm at 1.
If you do it quick, I'll give you 6 as like a cherry on top.
It's tough, but see, like, I gotta go hip hop, and I'm trying to think, like, what record, like.
You need to keep it eclectic. It's the rest of your life.
No, that's what I'm saying, but I have to have, one of the records has to be a rap album.
Absolutely.
Like, no doubt. So, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, Reasonable Doubt, I'll get tired of.
Okay, they're not.
I guess I'll go.
Now we have beef with Jay-Z, so we just shitted on Jay-Z.
No, I'm putting. What do you mean?
I'm not in on that beef.
I just nominated.
Man, I'm just saying. I don't want that beef.
I just nominated Jay-Z. Like, I'm
brought him up,
good.
and then you were like, "No, I'm not bringing this shit.
Like,
I'm gonna get tired of it. After a week, I'm gonna be on the date."
I have $480 million more than Mike D, but he did nominate me in his top 5 records, so I feel pretty good.
Okay,
that's where Jay-Z's at right now.
He's thinking, yeah, okay.
Even though he's got.
But I'm gonna somehow take the fall for it. They're gonna be like, fucking Rapaport. He's always talking shit. He's gonna get mad at me. Even though you. Okay, so we got Sly and the Family Stone. I don't. If Mike, if you don't get to this, we're not gonna get the fucking cherry on top. Okay, so you Sly and the Family Stone. I'll do one. I'll do one. And you do one.
I'm gonna do. Fine, you want to force this just like that? I'll just do PE Nation of Millions.
Okay, that's 2.
You know, gotta have a hip hop record in there. I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna start
The Clash, London Calling.
Okay.
Yeah, because I loved that record growing up, and I still love it to this day.
Okay. 3.
Shit. I need to take a break, man. I'm
okay,
exhausted
all right. I'll do one. I'll start with the record. I'll say John Coltrane, A Love Supreme, because it's going to be fucked up on that island.
Right.
You're going to need some, like, all right, so that's 1 for me.
Well, I was going to say, actually, Miles Davis, On the Corner.
Okay,
which
so that's
is a big,
4 for you.
Because I need something from the jazz genre.
You need to keep it funky. The island's going to be
through.
lonely. You need to dance and shit because your mind's going to be all fucked up. You're not going to have a volleyball. Tom Hanks ain't going to be around. All right, so I said Love Supreme, and then I'll say Midnight Marauders. You're on the cover art for.
Sure, okay.
All right, so that's 2
good.
for me. I'll do Songs in the Key of Life for 3. Okay, so that's 3.
Okay.
So now it's 3, and you got 4. One more for you.
See, that's tough because actually now you said Sons of the Key. I feel like actually the whole all the Stevie solo albums, like Music on My Mind, Intervisions. That whole
I picked
run,
Keys because it's the
hard.
longest album.
Right. Well, no, I get that, but I feel like, the ones that resonate more with me are Music of My Mind, Intervisions.
Hey, pick the 42-minute album. I picked the 67-minute album because it's the rest of your life.
I'm not practical.
I got like 20 extra minutes.
I'm not practical, dude. I'm romantic. I fall in love with a record.
Okay.
I'm
not arguing. I just want to get the question through, Mike. I got a lot of questions here. The people want to ask you. So you got 4. One more. So it's Songs of the Key of Life. What?
You know what? I'm gonna go real monkey wrench right now.
Okay.
Just sit the fuck down right now.
Okay.
Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited.
Okay.
That's a short record. It's a short record.
It's fine.
I think it's only like 36 minutes long.
That's your 5 records, and that's all I wanted. You want to do one more? Just see if, like, is there one more? One more. You can get one more scoop of ice cream and one more.
One more.
One more. And then I'm going to pose this question to you while you're thinking of that. Is it true of one of you guys?
I got it because it's going to be an island. It's got to be Bob Marley and the Wailers Catch a Fire.
Okay, good.
To catch
All
a
right.
fire because then, yeah.
Smart.
You know,
I'm going to take that one too.
The island, it just works. It's
Yeah,
like
for the
having,
vibes
like
and
having
shit.
wine in
No
France
doubt.
or Italy.
No
you know,
doubt.
you need the...
Absolutely. That's a smart choice. Is it true that either you or one of the Beasties or producers got into it trying to clear a Bob Dylan song for Paul's Boutique, maybe? I may not. It's a rumor. This is one of the questions that when I pose it to Twitter, someone asked that question. Do you know this story? Is it true? Is it not true? Was there a sample clearance beef with Bob Dylan, and was there an actual conversation with Bob Dylan?
Yeah, it'd be a good story. See, I feel bad if I, but no, there was not a beef, and I forget how we did. We did clear the sample, and I forget.
Was there a conversation with him?
No, I met Bob Dylan once in my life, and we were making the Paul's Boutique album. It was even before the record that we sampled him, and we went to this, like, it was the first time in our lives we went to like a crazy celebrity party. It was Dolly Parton's Christmas party.
What year was this?
1988, I'm gonna say, or 88 probably.
Did you Instagram?
So now I'm making myself mad old.
That's fucking awesome.
Anyway,
who was there?
Bob Dylan's in the corner, and so I'm like, I am a big Bob Dylan fan, so I'm like, I gotta go over and say what's up. So I go over there, and someone introduces me, and he immediately is like, "So kid, like, what are you good for?" I'm like, "What am I good for? I don't know. What do you mean?" He's like, tickets. How many tickets? I'm like, I don't know. Like, he's like, well, if you play, how many people come and show up? Like, just look at me like I'm a real dumbass, which I probably... Anyway, he had this whole idea he wanted to do a pro-smoking benefit for cigarettes, like, at the time.
Are you serious?
It was the beginning of, like, when cigarettes were kind of getting outlawed in California.
Oh, okay.
And so... I mean, he was really ahead of his time, honestly, this whole thing. I don't think it ever got off the ground.
No.
This whole thing.
That's it. Do you remember who else? Is there a couple other people that were at this party? Like, this sounds like a fucking party.
I'm not lying. I walked by, like, there's some dude playing piano in the party, and it was Burt fucking Bacharach playing piano.
Where, was this in L.A. or New York?
In Beverly Hills.
That's what's up. I like that. I like that.
No, that was some real Beverly Hills shit.
When I say, I'm just right because we're getting close to being out of time. Although I think I could keep on going. I have so many questions for you, Mike. When I say craziest tour story, what's the first thing that comes to your mind of the craziest tour story that you saw firsthand or experienced, or that you might have been the ringleader of?
Well, why am I getting out?
I
feel like I'm getting
might have
implicated.
Seen it. No, I didn't know. Listen. The statute of limitations is up, Mike. You're fine.
Flagellating falsifications.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, you're good. You're fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. I checked with the lawyers.
You're
you
the
can tell.
interviewer. You're my attorney now.
I got you.
All
So
purpose.
when I say craziest tour story, what's the first one that pops up into your head? Because you guys were doing it when it was like you could do shit. Like, there wasn't surveillance cameras, there wasn't cell phones. Like, you could really get fucking, like, you could really go, like, rock and roll, but it was hip-hop. So what's the first thing that comes onto your mind?
I'm not even going to take this bait. This is just...
Are people disappointed by that?
No, I mean...
You had to have been asked that. That's not even a great question.
But there's a lot of...
All right, I'll move on.
Well,
All right. You want to answer it?
No, not really.
Right.
I mean... There's a lot of shit that would happen, but I think you actually honed in on it, right? It's true. I didn't think about it that way. Like, you really didn't have... Now it's like, whatever. But actually, similar to that, you know what? One of the craziest things that did happen to us was just... And it was interesting because there was stuff that did happen, and then there was stuff how we would talk about what had happened. And we had this thing, we were on tour here in the States, and then these British journalists were coming because we were about to go tour Europe with Run DMC. And so these British journalists come to do their pieces that are going to come out in advance of when we go on tour there. And so we had the crazy shit that was happening, and we were playing in the South at the time, and we were literally we had towns that were trying to ban us from going there. So I mean, I know that's not like you want some crazy thing about filling the bathroom up with water all the way and whatever, but but that was it's more surreal.
Who did the bathroom thing? Just say who did it. Just say, was it a Beastie, a Public Enemy? Was it Run? Was it DMC?
No, nobody. Actually, I mean, it kind of only partially
real,
happened.
Man.
But anyway.
Who tried to do it?
No, but that's what I mean. We kind of turned it into a bigger story. That's what happens.
I got
Stories
you.
get to be a little bit bigger.
Like
than
the tub overflowed.
The reality,
and it was
right? The reality is one thing, and then legend is another.
Oh, so you guys were
anyway,
touring.
but that's what I'm saying. It became surreal because we ended up in the South and literally not being told well, you can't perform here or whatever, because based on shit that we had done. And then there were these journalists there, and then they reported that all back, and then it was by the time we got to England, it was the biggest thing.
So it was good for business
ever. It was actually bad. It was good. It was bad, good, bad.
Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning bad.
Yeah, bad. Yeah, it kind of turned into bad being bad. Yeah.
All right. That's fair enough.
The script, just flipped on us like that.
That's fair enough. If on this island that you're on, you only get to bring one of these: Tougher Than Leather or Crush Groove.
Crush Groove.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. Yeah, Crush Groove. I think I could watch before I could watch Tougher Than Leather.
Okay.
No disrespect or
No
hate
disrespect.
to either one.
No disrespect.
What was it like for you when those movies came out? Were you because you were from New York, you love hip hop, but then you were actually also, you were probably already in the acting game, right?
I wasn't in the acting game. I wasn't in the acting game. No, I wasn't in the acting game. What years did those come out? 87?
Crush Groove was early, probably 80. Yeah, 80. I feel 86.
No,
I
was
don't know.
6. I wasn't shit. I was in the Hoop
Or
Dreams
something.
game. I thought I was going to be in the
80s.
NBA.
Right. Yeah.
I was I'm going to be the next Larry Bird game. That was my fucking game. And that didn't happen.
Right.
Didn't even come close to happening.
No, but that's how I remember.
No one even considered that ever happening.
That's how I first heard of you, because everybody would be like, "Oh yeah, no, there's this kid, Mike Records." They were talking about Pete Nice,
Right.
and they're like, "Oh no, there's a kid who plays over at Tillery," and I think it was you.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh no, he's legit."
It's fucking. You know how the story can get bigger as it goes
Right.
along. That was with the basketball. All right. No, but I haven't watched those films, but I know one of them because I'm obsessed. The Treacherous 3, Cool Mo D, because we talk about the battles. I'm obsessed with trying to make a short film out of when Cool Mo D battled Busy B.
That would be incredible.
Recreating that. Okay, this is the obligatory question I have to ask any rapper, any MC. Top 5 MCs. If you had to say, and I know it's interchangeable. Okay. It could change, in an hour from now. So right now, if you had to say the top 5, and not in any order, just the top 5, who would you say?
Just as MC, not as necessarily as a record maker, but just as an MC.
Massive. And while you're at it, is there a difference between being an MC and a rapper?
Well, that's common, but I'm just gonna go. I guess I'm gonna go more by rap, because I feel like MC that's where you get into say the Cool Mo D Busy B thing. Busy B is not a great rapper, but he's an incredible MC. Right. Because in that battle, he sustains because he's in a sense he's actually the superior entertainer.
Yes.
Cool Mo D is the better rapper.
Right.
In the battle,
he's the better host with the most. He's the better keeping the party moving, and then Cool Mo D. Because to me,
Cool
that was
Mo
the
D
Big Bang Theory.
as a rapper slays him,
destroys him
on that thing.
And to me, that's the greatest.
He tells him to put that ba-diddy-ba bullshit on hold. He wrecks him.
And in his face. That's why, to me, that's the best battle. Because
that's what look, Drake, Meat Mills, Las Vegas. Just get the check.
One night only. Whoever keeps it rocking walks away with that bag of cash.
You and me, we're the promoters. We're putting the offering right now.
Let's do that shit. Let's do it. That's what I'm talking about.
I know we don't have the money to put in.
We'll find the fucking money.
We'll find the money, Drake.
We got you. But just to end, the reason why I think that battle is the quintessential battle and the Big Bang Theory of battles is because Busy B didn't know what was coming at him. And they're up on stage, they're rhyming, and then Kumo D, like, it's like Busy B was doing, like, you know, jumping jacks, and Kumo D came and did some Taekwondo shit. And, like, he's like, what the fuck is that? Right in his face. And that was the end of that. So, okay, top 5 MCs. Want me to go first, and then you could go one?
No, I'm
got
going.
these.
All right, I gotta say Rakim, just because when those records came out, like at a pure MC level, like he was able to sustain as a solo MC on a record, like I feel like nobody before him had.
Yep.
I have to say now I'm gonna, you know, even though he's got $484 million more than me, I'm gonna say Jay-Z.
I put him up there too.
Because you know, top 5. He's just
you
able
don't get
to
$484 million by being not good.
Yeah, I don't know really where I came up with my figure, my financial data, but
it's
Forbes,
good.
I don't know what Forbes says, but
He's got a lot more money than you, and he's got even more money than me. He's got a lot of fucking money. But the reality is you don't get to be the top of the top in something that's so special and so unique by, you know, just, you know, having a pretty face, which he doesn't. No disrespect, Joe. I'm not... no, I'm just saying, it's not. He's not up there, you know, like, you know, he's that guy. He's the fucking dude. He's the Jordan of recording.
But if I'm going to say Jay, then I kind of feel like I have to say Biggie, because then if Jay's the Jordan, then it's like Biggie's like, I don't know, Oscar Roberts. I don't know where is he? No, because he's not, you know what I mean? It's more fundamental.
But he had
like
big hands, and he's Biggie, Dr. J. Anyway.
Hip-hop, but Dr. J isn't a fun, you know what I mean?
Yes.
He was fundamental to like some of the evolution of the game, but not, I don't know.
Okay. So you got Biggie, Jay-Z, Rakim. We got 2 more. And it's interchangeable. Don't feel guilty on the car ride home.
No, because it's inevitable on the car ride home. You're like, shit, why didn't I say... You know,
like you're gonna leave somebody out, and then we're gonna have more beef. I mean, with other rappers.
I love Busta Rhymes, but I'm not gonna say Busta. I know Busta, like,
body of work.
Busta's incredible, but I don't know.
He's pretty fucking overlooked as far as like you. That's a good choice.
How's he overlooked?
No, I'm saying like most people wouldn't put him in their top 5. And when you see his catalog and his rhyme styles and the different flows that he's had over the years and his live performance, when you hear all those live flows done and you could hear every word, you're like, this motherfucker is really good, really, really, really good. So I don't argue with Busta Rhymes. Are you gonna put him on your list?
I might. I'm pondering it. I'm considering. I'm weighing my options.
Okay.
You know.
That's 4. That's 4.
You gotta hit me with a couple.
I'll go.
Hit me with the prenup, Mike.
I'll go Nasty Nas. I'm gonna try to go different than your list. Nas, you gotta go Nas.
See. That's what I didn't think of like that.
KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane.
I was weighing KRS-One, but then it's.
The body of work isn't that humongous.
But it's more like with KRS-One, he was a great record maker. Like, and I'm not faulting him at all as an MC, but it wasn't like his achievement was based on what he said, not necessarily how he said it. You know, Rakim, fish is my favorite dish. You know what I mean? But he sold the shit out of his lyric.
Absolutely. LL Cool J gets forgotten.
No, I'm just saying,
as far as he's on my list, I claimed him first
in the discussion.
I mean, LL, you were around for that in the Def Jam years. I mean, LL was a fucking beast.
Actually, I would even go. I'm trying to think. Like,
if anybody wanted to shit,
well, I'm gonna go real out left field here. What about Raekwon?
He's ill too.
Or actually, no. You know what? But I have to put Ghost maybe before I put. Yeah, I have to put Ghost probably.
So now you just put Raekwon on. You put Raekwon on the list.
If I had to pick one Woo, I know because I put him on, but then I took him off the board and I put Go because if there's one, Cuban Links is dope, but Liquid Swords. If I had to pick one Woo solo album, not Enter the 36 Chambers. Like Enter the 36 Chambers for sure. Anybody's gonna pick
absolutely.
But anyway, this is all some geeked out shit. This is boring. Is
everybody good?
We've alienated.
All right. I'm gonna let the people. You could come up to that mic, ask a question, have it answered, and you know, and we could you could stretch your feet. Everybody, I hope everybody's enjoying themselves and not asleep.
Oh, I forgot. Wait, hold on. I gotta give honor. Like Run DMC, because they're a group. I can't say them, but they were probably the most inspiring group to me personally and us as a band. So I have to give them honorable mention. You know, actually, who I love from today on an MCing level?
Who?
Pusha T.
He's ill.
So I gotta give. I'm just saying.
Okay.
King Push.
He's good. Real good. Casper Mattress is an award-winning mattress company that makes the most ridiculously relaxing, supportive mattresses sold directly to the consumers. Trust me, I sleep on one every night. The Casper Mattress is available in 6 sizes and has a 10-year full warranty. 10 fucking years. It's made and stitched right here in the United States. Free 2 to 5 day shipping in the United States and Canada. And in New York City, you can get it the day of. A guy will drive up with your mattress in a box and deliver it right to your fucking house. And if you do not like it, you have 100 nights to sleep on this mattress for free. If you do not like it, they will refund. They will come pick up your mattress for free. 100 nights. Go to Casper.com and save $50 using the promo code Rapaport, RAPAPORT. Casper Mattresses, we love them. All right, question?
Yep, so I already know.
Step up to the mic.
I know your answer because you already mentioned it. You just spoke on 36 Chambers. Midnight Marauders and 36 Chambers came out on this date in 93.
Right.
Which is a better album and why?
Shit. Better album. That's a hard question. It was 25 years ago?
Wait, and they really both came out on the same day.
Can you believe that?
They're radically different records, so the energy is so different.
Think
Like
about
one
that.
record was like you put it on and people just would punch somebody in the face. The other, they like dance around and have a good time. So it really, what do you want to do?
That's a tough
they're both
question.
valid expressions of energy.
Extremely valid. That's a hard question to answer. That's a tough question. That's a tough. I mean, like I agree. That's like really picking. That's a tough question.
Yeah.
The energy is very different. The craftsmanship is impeccable. The production. See, that's the thing. The production on those albums is so.
Actually, I feel stupid. Well, no, you know what? I'd almost put Enter the 36 Chambers could almost be a top 5 album of all time, but I feel like I'd burn out on it on the desert island because I wouldn't. The whole time I'm not looking like to go run around the island like Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
No, that's a good point. But that might help you get off the album.
A couple of those moments, but
no,
you know.
And there's some radical production. Any other questions? What's your name, please?
Mike Young.
How you doing? Okay,
Hey, how are you?
question.
See, Mike's getting his drink on. He's got a question.
Yeah, he's got like 3.
I'm slow sipping. Mike D, was there one transitional moment in your career where you knew, oh shit, everything is changing? Like, what was the one moment for the Beasties when you just knew, oh, we're on a trajectory and it's not stopping? Was there one moment?
Good question.
It's probably like what I was speaking on earlier. I think like when we would hear, there was something about Hold It Now. Like there were other moments we had like that, but when Hold It Now happened, then it was like real. Like all of a sudden, like there were cars in our town blasting and shit, driving by us, not knowing who we were, because at that time there weren't, we didn't necessarily, you didn't like have a video for every song. You didn't have like the 12-inch that came out was just like a Black Label Def Jam 12-inch. So people didn't know who we looked like or anything, but we knew it was us,
right?
Okay,
that's a good.
And we were like we were like Eric B. As soon as he made money, like showed up in like a Rolls Royce, killed everybody. Like we were all like, what? Like the nicest car we ever saw anybody get was like a Jeep Wrangler. All of a sudden he bought a fucking used Rolls Royce. Crushed everybody.
That's dope. That's dope. I wonder where that car is now. You got a question?
As 2 Jewish gentlemen from New York, are you giving props to Drake just because he's bar mitzvah? No, sorry, that's not actually my question. My question is, it was just kind of a trip to hear you talking about Q-Tip and De La Soul and as a man of a certain age and just kind of remembering that time. That was very like just kind of like cerebral and socially conscious hip hop and who do you see is carrying on that torch today? Like from that, I mean, there's so many little slices of rap and hip hop, but like those guys, there was just something different going on there. Like who do you see moving forward with that mantle?
That's a good question.
Well, I don't think you have any. Like, it was very special, like the whole, when you had native tongues and you had, like, literally it was like a community, and I think it was empowering to all of them, and kind of until it fractured. Like, you know, like the fact that Q-Tip got to get on by getting on the Jungle Brothers record, and then, you know, eventually, like, as friends, they blew up. But you know what I mean? Like, I think that helped. There was a lot of power in the community, and I don't think you know, there's no analogous thing. You know, then you had De La, whatever, Moni Love, Latifah, Tribe,
Jungle Brothers,
Leaders of the New School.
You
know, so it was
Chi Ali.
deep. Wow, okay,
He was in
really
there.
going really. No, he was.
I did make a movie about a Tribe Called Quest. It's called Be Rich.
But
no,
I mean, I guess if I had to think of one artist, I don't know. Now I'm gonna have to say. Actually, well, I'm gonna go. My obvious answer is gonna be Kanye, because he's the only one I feel like is making innovative records. I know everyone's like, enough about Kanye already.
but with the political.
Well, I didn't feel it with Tribe. With I don't know. With Native Tongues, I didn't even feel it was so much political. It was more like social. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess it was like there was a consciousness aspect, and they were being upfront about being smart. They weren't trying to like hide that or hide behind being tough or anything.
Right. I think Kendrick, his last album was
Kendrick,
very.
good point. No,
I mean,
Kendrick,
he was in.
I totally agree. I think even the first. I think first album has brilliant songs and brilliant songwriting.
Yeah.
I mean, Kendrick.
There's bold statements on this new album. It's I wouldn't even call it
even
easy
the first,
listening.
Don't come on, Mike. Don't hate. The first album's incredible.
No, I agree.
You know, just I know it's the bigger record, whatever, but it has anyway. But I just agree with I agree with you on Kendrick. Like he's artistic. He's going to be around, and he's making real records with something to say.
I agree. 100%.
And real albums. They're not just like a couple of songs.
Right. He's putting out a record with a whole beginning, middle, and end, and a point of view. Okay. We'll do the next. Yeah, go ahead. Question. I got a lazy eye. Don't worry about it. You were like, what's
totally switching the subjects, because I have like about 1,000 music questions I'd love to ask the both of you.
You get one.
But I want to know something completely different. You said that you had 2 children. Around the ages of mine. So I'm curious as to what you think about society and kids, our youth right now. Are they, do you feel that they're in a dangerous society?
A dangerous society?
Dangerous society.
I don't know. Look, listen, first off, we should be asking them that, not us. But I would say, but I don't know. It was interesting. I was having this whole conversation today that it's interesting, like there's a weird thing that happens. I notice, like, I think now, I don't know, this happens when you have, like, I don't know if your kids play, like, AAU ball or...
A little bit,
anything,
not as much as
like,
they used to.
So my kids went through a moment where they were really doing that a lot. And it's like, kids that come up that are really good at something they're treated like superstars. Like, when we were growing up, there was you could be good at something. It wasn't like... You know what I mean? Nobody. You were still just a kid.
Right.
Nobody gave a shit. Like, you still had to work hard. You still had to take the trash out.
Right.
Now it's like, you know what I mean? If you're the starting center on this team, or you're like a piano prodigy, or you're, you know, the next brilliant ballerina, that's all you do.
Right.
And everything is like...
And you get famous.
Yeah.
And you get a lot
No, it happens, I guess, because, there's a thing of social media and YouTube, whatever. You're like the 8-year-old that's from YouTube.
I saw a 3-year-old on what's the show? He said he was a fucking DJ. It was what's the show? The music show, Nick Cannon, America's Got Talent, but it was America's Got Talent to South Africa. He's 3-year-old. He's playing. He's turning knobs. They're like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's just turning the knob. The music's coming on, and everybody's going crazy for him. I said, he thinks it's an Etch-a-Sketch. He doesn't know what the fuck he's. But he's famous. This 3-year-old. South Africa. He's a great kid. I think his name is DJ Crocodile.
Now he's a great kid.
No, I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying is that he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, DJ Crocodile. Not to say that he can't grow into it. I saw him. They were
Very talented with the Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, but he thinks he's DJing. That's the thing. All right.
Do you still write rhymes?
Once in a while.
Is there any chance of new music ever coming out?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, there's a chance. Yes. I mean, not as a band. Just to be clear, I'm not saying like as a band, but yeah. I mean, there's yes.
That's a good question. So, dude, what is that like? Like, with rhymes and music like now? Like, do rhymes pop in your head? Do you hear a beat? Like, I'm always curious with MCs and rappers. Like, if you hear something in the car, like, are you flutting with it? Is it like, how does that work for you? And here's my question to that, follow-up question. So it's a 2-for-1. Do you have?
They were supposed to be.
I'm gonna get to them. This is good. They're gonna appreciate this. This is a good question.
You just fucking cut them.
No, this is a good question.
The line.
Because I wanted to follow up on him.
I mean, I know it's your show.
No. I want to follow up with them. And do you at this point in your life and at this age have musical hopes and dreams inside of you? Like, is there?
Yeah. No, I do. No, there's definitely like records that like I would say like I want to work on. Like I don't want to be necessarily the center part, whatever, or in a group, wherever. But yeah, no, there's still music ideas and things that like, and I've been lucky in the last year of like working on some different records with other people, which I'm happy to do, because yeah, there's still like you'll get an idea. I mean, there's it works two different ways. There's like ideas that just come to you, or just an ambition you might have of something you want to make, and that still definitely happens to me. But I'm also not in the cycle of like, when we were a band and we were active, it's like you have to just show up and write. And so, like whether it's writing rhymes or just being, on game in terms of being able to do that. I think there's that facet too. And the only way to do that, of being on game that way, it's like anything. You just got to practice.
Okay.
Alan Iverson might disagree, but...
Practice?
Practice.
Write rhymes? We're talking about writing rhymes. Got another number one album. We're talking about writing rhymes. Rhymes? All right. Sorry. Your question.
Bringing it back all the way to where we started, to Movember. This is a question we always love to ask. If you could give advice to your younger self.
You're a ringer, aren't you?
A what?
A ringer. This is a ringer question.
A ringer? I don't know what that means.
I'm saying it's professional. Anyway.
Professional. If you were going to give advice to your younger self, what's one piece of advice you would give to your younger self?
Health-wise? I'll answer that first. My advice to my younger self would, all those shithole buildings on the Lower East Side that you think are shitholes, buy all of them. Yeah. I walk by those. Don't you walk by? Are you just like, when License to Ill came out, you could have bought a whole fucking block, and it would have we would have been like, Jay-Z who, motherfucker?
Yeah. A block. I could have bought the whole neighborhood.
Oh, that fucking pains me. That's one thing about, I look at the Manhattan, you're in Brooklyn, and they're like, I could have owned the Barclays Center. Like, I could have bought that whole fucking, that could have been mine. It could have been the Rapaport Center. Like when I in Harlem, and it's like Bill Clinton's, like you could have literally bought I want to buy everything across 110th Street. That would have been my advice to myself. Mike?
Damn, no, that's hard to top. That's.
Would it have been do push-ups? Or I don't know. What would have been I don't know. What the fuck? That's hard to stomach. Yeah. I lived in a building that the guy offered me. He said, you could buy for that. I was like, fuck you, you cocksucker. You're trying to take it. And now I walk by the building. I'm like, you're so stupid. You were so dumb. So dumb. So young and so dumb. That's the thing, is that when you're young, you're just so dumb. So any advice that I may or may not have gotten or given myself, I thought I knew better, and I fucked it up. So dumb. So dumb. That's the thing about making money when you're young, is you're dumb as shit. It was so dumb. Okay, what would be the advice, Mike?
I'm not...
Come on, Mike.
Well, I would say, first off, See that's I'm gonna get back to Jay-Z now for the 8th time in this interview. Like, see, I don't feel like Jay-Z was never that dumb.
No.
Like he would always would have bought the building.
Yes.
Like why?
I agree. I agree.
The Hova doesn't. Yeah, he wouldn't fuck up like you and me.
He's like Fonzie, Jay-Z. I consider he's literally like that guy. He's like Fonzie.
Yeah.
Like he could like, and lights will turn on and all like Fonzie and shit. Like, you know, he's Fonzie.
But he's got no I don't know. What's the Hove?
No, but he's got other shit going for him. He's got Beyonce. He doesn't need A.
Jigga. I guess yes, Jigga is his A, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a good one. I'm passing.
All right, one more question and then we're going to shut it down.
Hello, Mike. Hello, Mike. Okay, here's my question for you. In your history of recording, writing, recording, being in the studio, what moments still stand out in your mind? For example, all of us have moments in our lives that we remember that incident from 20 years ago sticks in our mind. What certain moments, what song did one of the other people you work with bring out that you just sat back and said, oh my God, that's amazing? What, anyone or how many of them?
I don't know. Well, I mean, there's... First off, I have to commend you on... Now, Mike and I, we just go on and we talk and we ramble a little bit. You have got, sir, a professional sounding broadcast voice. So I want to encourage you to get into a career of voiceover.
Put the camera down.
I'm just saying, you get my vote. I think voiceover, you'd be great.
Agree. It's bassy but not overwhelming.
Yeah. It's very clear. It's sort of like it's no real accent attached. It could be.
I can even see him on camera. You're limiting him to just voiceover work. Like he's got a good haircut. He's well dressed. Like this could be a fucking reporter. Like this guy. Like he could do the whole thing.
All right, listen. As soon as we're done with Drake and Meek Mills, that's a big event for us coming up. When we're done with that, we can focus on your career, Mike and Mike.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, where was I? Oh no! So moments. I'm gonna. All right. I'll say the one that comes to mind was when we made Paul Revere, because Run from Run DMC was there, and we idolized Run, and he came to make a record with us. But what made it so exciting was, MCA had the idea to flip the tape over to make it go backwards, so the beat went backwards. So we recorded it forwards. He flipped the tape, and then it's playing backwards.
Did that happen? Was that happenstance, or was that playing from the beginning?
Because he was the techno whiz. So we as like white kids that loved hip hop, he'd listened to a lot of Jimi Hendrix, and so we are up on the backwards sounding thing. And then because he spent time working as an assistant engineer, he knew how to actually do that. So he's like, oh no, we'll record the beat, make the beat, and then watch, I'll flip it. And we were like, huh? And then we were like, so Adam and I were like, okay, busy trying to make the 808 beat. And he's like, yeah, just trust me, just do that, and then I'm going to flip it. So we did it, and then Run, like, flipped the fuck out. I got so excited. And so that, that to me, that was like the most exciting, to make somebody you idolize, that they're actually excited about the shit you're making.
Hell yeah, that's a good story.
Anyway.
That's fucking cool.
So,
all right, fucking one more question.
No,
just one more good. But make it a
These
good
people
one.
are done. They want to get a drink and go home.
One more question.
It's
Just
Monday
say it loud
night,
so everybody
Mike.
can. Last one.
They all got to work on
but
Tuesday.
But when you tell stories like that, that's good shit, Mike. But say it loud.
See, he's not even standing up to ask his question. He's going home, Mike.
He's like, can I get my parking validated, motherfuckers?
Yeah.
On a lot less serious note, because I'm not a reporter, but I'm just curious your take on white rappers these days.
I claim no responsibility. I just saying, yeah. I'm going to claim more responsibility for Drake. Just because.
I'm not a rapper. I'm a Rapaport. That's about as far as it goes to me. So,
no disrespect to any of them. Whatever, Macklemore, big records. People love his songs the world over. Mac Miller. I love Mac does his thing. What's that? Mac needs to. I feel like come. He needs a diss record. I don't know.
Miller.
Yeah, he should diss somebody. I don't know who. I'm going to talk to him about this. I think he needs to diss somebody.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Because he's hot, actually, like when he's on like the posse cuts with like Kendrick and like Jay, what's the song that he's on with like Kendrick and Jay Electronica or whatever? Like he that's when he actually shines. He needs to
You know, some dudes are six men and some dudes are solo. Like not everybody, you know, it's like somebody just popped into my head. It was never really, you know, to be a solo record or, you know, 2 verses on a song, it's a lot of weight, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think like Busta is a great example. Off the bench.
Busta shut it down.
Comes in, kills it.
I mean, the best. One of the best. Yeah. I mean, that's
I mean, you know, Chris Brown makes a record and then it's a Busta, you know, it's a Busta record.
He takes it over. Busta Rhymes is top 5. He's arguably top 5. Yo, I appreciate everybody hanging in here. You got one more question? Is it a great question?
Yeah. No, that's number 2. He's breaking your own rule, Mike.
Shit.
Damn.
Oh, he's already up here. If I sit him down, then we're going to have beef with him immediately after everybody else we've insulted. Question.
The Straight Outta Compton movie introduced NWA and Eazy-E to a new generation. There's already talk about the Def Jam picture. Russell's talking with Universal. How do you want Beastie Boys to be portrayed to a generation that's not familiar with them?
I'd like in, you know, I think like an animated format, kind of like South Park.
That's a good answer. All right, this is the end of the symposium, the forum. I appreciate you guys hanging in there, and Mike, I really appreciate it. I really, truly appreciate the time. Every single person knows how much I love fantasy football, and there's still plenty of football to be played this season, but it already feels like the playoffs at DraftKings.com, where millionaires are being crowned all season long. DraftKings is fantasy football on demand. Play where you want, when you want, with the players that you want. That is the beauty of 1 week fantasy football at DraftKings. Challenge your friends in a custom league. Do it at work. Talk shit to your friends or join an existing one to play for your share of millions of dollars in prizes being paid out each week. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and turn your love of football into a life-changing payday. Use the promo code Rapaport, RAPAPORT, and play for free.